I learned a few years ago that if you are only doing I am statements for your affirmations, that you're not fully embodying the energy that you're trying to affirm or that you're trying to embody. So, hi, I'm Lavender, and this is Lavender's Perspective. So, anything that I share or say is all my perspective, and I really, really enjoy the way that the change of a word or reframing a situation, changing your perspective, it can really change your life. And, but also the way that I word things or the words that I use, what works for me, my perspective might not work for you, and that's totally fine. So, we're just here to learn and grow together and learn to change our perspective in a way that helps us grow. So let's learn and grow together. So today I'm going to be talking about chakras and their different energies and the words that I use to help me embody these different chakras. So, like I said, if you are just using like I am, like let's say, for example, that you want to be more yourself. And so you're just going to use the affirmation, I am me, which is a great affirmation. But if you're only saying I am me, I am is the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra. And so you're really only embodying that in your root. You're not embodying it through all your chakras. Therefore, it's not going to take hold in your whole energy. It's not a holistic thing. So the other chakras, you've got the Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, which is I feel. You have the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus, which is I do, which I have a lot of different words for that I'll share in a minute. And then you have the Anahata, the heart chakra, which is I love. You have the Vishuddha, the throat chakra, which is I speak or I express. You have the Ajna. I'm just showing you where they are, which not you couldn't even see below. But the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra, and then you have the crown chakra, the Sahaswara, which I could be mispronouncing the Sanskrit, and if I am, I apologize and look up how to pronounce them from somebody who natively speaks Sanskrit, and don't rely on me for those pronunciations. But anyway, I think I was saying, so the Vishuddha is I speak, I express, Ajna is I see, and the crown, the Sahasrara is I know. Which I even have different words that I use for those as well that really, really help me resonate with those energies better. So the first one that we are going to talk about is the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. So I always was taught or learned that the Muladhara chakra is where like safety and security is. And that's absolutely true. However, thinking about what I need for safety or like what I need to release to feel safe or what I need to invite in to feel safe wasn't really helping me embody myself, because a lot of safety for me was born through surviving trauma or just born through having to survive. And so safety for me is more akin to survival, which that might not be true for you. And safety might totally be a word that resonates really well for you. And that's great. But for me, the Muladhara is more about peace, because peace, just even saying that, I just feel at peace. Like I feel myself. And when I say the word safety, for some reason, like I am safe, it feels like a lie. Like I just don't believe it. Whereas when I say I am peace, that just feels like something that I can be or that I'm becoming, or like it just feels true. So peace is what I use for that. And I also use I'm grounding, or I ground myself in. So if you just want to learn to embody the Muladhara in general, you could just say, I ground myself in peace. And then we're going to work all the way through all the chakras, and I will teach you how to like level that up essentially. So the next chakra coming up from the Muladhara is your sacral chakra, your Svadhisthana. And for that one, that's where, sorry, my dog is getting off my lap. That's Charlie. That's where your emotions are, your feelings, and it's also like what's considered the divine feminine or your being. And it's also because of like the divine feminine, it is where like giving and receiving exist and where creation exists. And that one, I forget what like people say the energy for that one is. But anyway, I use gratitude for that. So the Svadhisthana, I use gratitude, which is just, one of those higher level energies. And gratitude really helps me to embody creation, and it helps me to embody giving, and that giving and receiving energy. It doesn't really help me embody like emotions. Actually, that's not even true. Because really, I used to avoid my emotions a lot. I used to be incredibly dissociated, and practicing gratitude for emotions is actually how I learned to feel. So what I just said was a lie. Gratitude absolutely helps me with feelings as well. So, and then the like affirmation starters that I use for that is I feel, or I give, or I receive, or I create, and I usually use all of them. So to embody that one, I would say I create gratitude, I give gratitude, I receive gratitude. And we can also use that for peace. So if you're wanting to embody like the feeling of peace, or I don't really say it's a feeling, it's an energy. The energy of peace, you can say like you start with your Muladhara and I ground myself in peace, and then you can move up to the Svadhisthana. I create peace, I give peace, I receive peace, I feel at peace. And then you can also, transfer the gratitude down to your Muladhara and say, I am gratitude, or I ground myself in gratitude. And that's how you can embody more of the Svadhisthana throughout your whole body. And the next chakra is the Manipura, or the solar plexus. And that one, I use the word joy. So the Manipura is, dog is barking. The Manipura is where action is. And so that's kind of the divine masculine energy, the doing. And for me, doing feels better. It feels more resonant, feels like me if I do it with joy. I actually went through, I still do this, but like I was reframing how to make clear decisions and be more decisive and stop sitting in anxiety about what to do. And I started only saying yes to things if it felt like 100% yes, or it felt like 100% joy. And anything that didn't feel like that, I would just say no to. Like, somebody invited me to go to some event, and I would sit and be like, well, I feel like I should go because blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if I want to go. And, would just debate back and forth the pros and cons, feel the FOMO, all of that, and realized that if I felt indecisive about something, that meant it wasn't 100% yes, therefore it was a no. And that really helped me start to make clear decisions and to start embodying joy, and just better things brought into my life and better things happened in my life because I stopped filling it with things that I didn't really want to do. And now I'm left with just 100% joy, and it's joyful. So the affirmations that I use for that, the affirmation starter, is I move forward with joy. So we can bring that down to our Muladhara. I ground myself in joy. I create joy. I receive joy. I give joy, and I move forward with joy. Or you can also move forward with peace. You can move forward with gratitude. It works up and down. Okay, the next chakra is the Anahata, the heart chakra. And this one is the word love, the energy of love. It's also the energy for me of acceptance, because accepting myself and accepting others is really the highest form of love that I can give somebody else, and the best way for me to express compassion for them is to just accept them as they are. As a recovering people pleaser and as a recovering white savior, honestly, recovering from all of what Christianity taught me, I often want to change people or fix people. And that doesn't really serve them or me, just constantly trying to fix people. It's not a good use of energy. And just, I learned that accepting them for who they are and just accepting that they need to learn themselves how to be, is the best way to love them. Now, granted, like if they're asking me for advice or asking me for feedback or opinions, obviously I'm going to give it, but I'm not just going to like make it my life's mission to change and fix other people, because that's not actually helpful. Um, so yeah, so that one is I care or I accept, or it can also be I love, which with the energy of love would be I love love, or I care for love, I accept love. And that one honestly is like, whew, that one felt big for me. Like I accept love. Yeah, like the things that feel really big to you or that feel really hard or that feel untrue, that's where you need to start focusing your energy and figuring out what you need to release, let go of, like what you need to invite in for it to feel true, which I will talk a lot more about in other videos. So I want to help you embody and become the best you that you want to be without trying to fix you. Okay, so that one, you can start again in the Muladhara. I ground myself in love. I ground myself in acceptance. I give acceptance. I receive acceptance. I create acceptance. And I move forward with acceptance. And I accept love. And then, you can also do the whole I accept peace. I accept gratitude. I accept joy, like working them all. The next chakra is the Vishuddha chakra, the throat chakra. And that's where all your communication is. And the word that I love the most for the Vishuddha is freedom. It makes me feel just really at peace, at joy, gratitude, all of those other energies that I've already said. To think about communication as being like my path to freedom. It's, about like speaking my truth, communicating in a way that feels freeing, liberating. Because I know there's a lot of times where my light just died. Sorry. Just gonna keep going, and this second half of the video is just gonna be a little darker. So I overthink a lot. It took me a long time to even feel confident enough to make this video because I kept worrying that I was going to say the wrong thing, or yeah, there's a lot of perfectionism that still exists in my Vishuddha, and I'm working to release that and invite in more freedom, because letting go of perfectionism feels like freedom. And the affirmation starter that I use for that is I speak, I listen, I express. So you can say like I express freedom. And I also like to just like tie actions to that. Like I express freedom when I make decisions with 100% yes. And I express freedom when I accept love. So like really you can just use these affirmation starters and these energies to like, come full circle all around. And like when you do that, it really does help your energy just like flow through you. And you just feel like, whoo, I am my best self right now. And it's great. At least for me. And if these words don't make you feel like that, then truly like find the word that makes you feel like, wow, this is me. Because that's what we all want to feel, is just ourselves. So that one we can do I express freedom, or you can move it all the way through your Muladhara all the way up. So I ground myself in freedom, I give freedom, I create freedom, I receive freedom, I move forward with freedom, I accept freedom, I care for freedom, I love freedom, I express freedom, I communicate freedom, I listen to freedom. The next chakra is the Ajna chakra, the third eye, and this is the word that I use for it is truth or trust. I kind of go back and forth depending on the situation, but they both seem to resonate really well as truth and trust. And the sentence starter for that is I see or I show, or reflect, or I don't know what the verb for perspective is. Perceive. I do know. Perceive. So any of those will work. I perceive truth. I see trust. I reflect trust. I show truth. All of those. Anything that has to do with like vision. So we'll work from the Muladhara all the way up with that. I ground myself in truth. I ground myself in trust. I give truth. I give trust. I receive truth. I receive trust. I create truth. I create trust. I move forward with truth. I move forward with trust. I love truth. I love trust. I accept truth. I accept trust. I express truth. I expressed trust. I listen to truth. I listen to trust. And I see truth and I perceive truth. I perceive trust. I see trust. And I show trust and I show truth. Last one is the Sahasrara, the crown chakra. And that one is also, I have two for that one as well. I use connection and understanding. Connection, I like a lot. And I have a whole thing about connection versus attachment that I will talk about in a different video because that's a whole another rabbit hole. And I will make a note of that to talk about the difference between attachment versus connection. But anyway, connection. So the sentence starter for that is I know or I understand. So I know connection, I understand connection, or I connect to understanding, I connect to connection. That one doesn't really work as well. All right, so we're going to start in the Muladhara, work our way up. I ground myself in connection, I ground myself in understanding. I give myself connection. I give myself understanding. I receive connection. I receive understanding. I create understanding. I create connection. I lost where I was. I move forward with connection. I move forward with understanding. I love connection. I love understanding. I accept understanding. I accept connection. I express understanding. I express connection. I listen to understanding. I listen to connection. I see connection. I see understanding. And I show connection. And I show understanding. And I know connection. I know understanding. I connect to understanding. So yeah. So you can see too how each chakra kind of has like a me and a you type thing. Like it's a very reciprocal relationship because all relationships are mirrors. Every relationship that you're in, whether that's with a person or with money, your relationship with energy, your relationship to anything, is a reciprocal symbiotic relationship, which is why I usually use give and receive and speak and listen. Anytime there's like two sides of it, basically like an interaction, I use both of those words because I want to remember that it's not just about like what I'm bringing in, but also like what I'm projecting out, because that's really going to harness your energy. And so you can just imagine how you can use all of these different affirmations to really repair your relationships. Like thinking about a relationship that you have with somebody, are you speaking truth with them? Are you expressing connection with them? And if you're not, like, is that really an unconditionally loving connection that you have? And so I like to think of like just reframing any interaction, any relationship, anything really with these energies and seeing like if I put it in that sentence phrase, is that true? And is that growing my relationship? Is that helping me become more myself? Is it helping show others who I am. So I hope that these will resonate with you, and I will start to make some shorts where I will just write, type up the affirmations so you can practice those a little better. And I will make some more videos where we can really dive deeper into each of those energies and dive deeper into writing these affirmations and dive deeper into how these affirmations can really help repair your relationship with yourself and your relationship with anybody, anything. So we're going to just keep learning and growing and becoming more ourselves. And thank you so much for listening. This is my first video ever on YouTube, and I was really nervous, and I'm really, really grateful that you're here and that you listened, and I appreciate you and love you. And drop any comments below of any affirmations that you came up with while listening to this, or any thoughts that you had. I would love to hear your feedback. Feedback is absolutely how we grow and connect and learn from each other. And I love learning. And so anything that you have to share, I want to read. And please subscribe, follow along, like this video if you found value in it, so that other people can receive it as well. And if you hated it, let me know. And I'm always interested in the feedback. So thanks.